This video contains harsh language, specifically English. Warning: the following video contains opinions, and they could even be contrary to yours. Please remember that even in the heat of the moment, it's about opinion. If you watch the whole video and you still don't agree with me, well, feel free to sound off in the comments. Just don't be a dick about it. OpinionatedM8.
So Sony closed out their recent state of play with a trailer for Ghost of Yotei, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which I have not played. I've heard very good things about. I've heard that it's very sort of Akira Kurosawa inspired, even including a mode that recreates his black and white movies. Here's the thing, the internet is going apeshit about Yotei, and I don't understand why. Let me give you the recap of the events as I remember them. Trailer revealed during the state of play, and then on Twitter, one of these Twitter accounts basically going, "Oh, female lead in the sequel to a game with a male lead. Oh my god, this diversity is out of hand." And I don't get it. We've had sequels to games before where there was a female protagonist for the second game. I'm struggling to think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's happened before. I'm sure the sequel has been a good game. For example, Infamous Second Son. The follow-up to that was Infamous First Light, sort of as a prequel. I've heard very good things about that. Silent Hill 2 was followed up by Silent Hill 3. First two games had male protagonists, third game had a female protagonist. A lot of people still consider Silent Hill 3 to be one of the best. They're wrong, but people still consider it to be better than Silent Hill 4. They're wrong, but people do. The point is, I don't think Ghost of Yotei having a female lead is a problem. I think it's not an indication of forced DEI and pandering either. If the protagonist of Ghost of Yotei had a completely unrealistic appearance for the period of the game, if they were speaking in slang, I would be cautious. If the game didn't look visually nice in the trailer, I would be worried. But I'm not. It looks great. As someone who has been meaning to get around to Tsushima, the fact that there is now a sequel, or I guess another story about another so-called ghost, then that kind of inspires me to go back and play Tsushima. Because I bought that shortly after it came out. And it's just been sitting, I think it might still be factory sealed. Yeah, I just checked. My copy's still factory sealed. It's got the PlayStation strip. It's kind of hard to see that. Yeah. So I'm kind of inspired to maybe fire this up and give it a play. But I'm worried, because a lot of the people who are complaining online about Ghost of Yotei having a female protagonist are people who played this game and fell in love with the character of Jin Sakai, and I'm worried that playing this is going to turn me into a sexist, because all the people who are upset are people who played this through and loved it. They're the people who are complaining, and I kind of don't want to unseal and play a game that's going to turn me into a sexist. Now, there have been some points made online about the voice actress / mocap likeness for Ghost of Yotei's main character. Forgive me for not having all the information in front of me. I'm lazy, okay. The actress who plays the main character in Ghost of Yotei, there are various things about their online presence that is worrying people. The opinionated mate of 6 years ago would have no problem discussing them, but the opinionated mate of today does. So there were tweets that this person made that feel like they've been cherry-picked, specifically for an anti-DEI discussion. There is no proof that this actress's beliefs have had any effect on Ghost of Yotei's writing. I think people are jumping the gun by calling this DEI infested slop. I've seen people say on Twitter that this is in the same pool as Concord or Dustborn. No, it's not. It's not even remotely in the same sphere. Concord had incredibly unappealing visuals, as well as the other elements that turned people off from it, as well as ugly character designs. It's also a hero shooter in an era where hero shooters are no longer popular. If you didn't get in when Overwatch got in, you're not going to get in. That's just how it is now. So it was games as service, and that hurt it. And Dustborn? Dustborn, we are the new porn? Dustborn? A game where you go around cancelling people? Not counselling people, but cancelling people. Just in case my British accent made that hard to understand. I don't think there is any, similarity between something like Dustborn or Concord and Ghost of Yotei. I don't think they're even remotely similar. The point I'm making is we can be cautiously optimistic for things. Alright? We can be cautiously optimistic for things. We don't have to. As soon as we see something about a game that we don't like, be like, oh, fuck this, I ain't buying it. That negativity just makes you more miserable. I'm going to tell people how to live their life. If they want to be miserable all the time, that's on them. But don't bring that miserable shit near me, alright? I'm having a bad enough time as it is. And Lord Layden, who we love for bringing Vib Ribbon to Europe, Lord Layden, famously translator for the PlayStation 1 version of Mortal Kombat Trilogy when it was brought to Japan, Lord Layden tweeted saying, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Which is fair. It's also a criticism that has been levied at gamers in regards to Dustborn, Concord, Sewer, Slide Squad, and all those games bombed. So don't tell people not to buy games if they don't want to, because they won't. But besides that point, I've seen people saying, head of Sony criticizes gamers, that's a bad move as head of Sony, you should think better. He's ex-Sony. He left in 2017 or 2019, because there was some restructuring, and there was something he didn't like that management was doing, so he fucked off. He doesn't represent Sony anymore. So it's not the developers of the game saying, oh, if you don't like it, don't buy it. So it really is no need to be like that. If you're not interested in it, don't buy it. I think that's a fair criticism. I believe that we can be cautiously optimistic. We can look at Ghost of Yotei and, maybe approach it with a certain degree of skepticism. That is fine. After all, you are the discerning customer. You have to make the decision what you're going to spend your money on. It would suck for everybody to like the same thing all the time. You get to look at things with a degree of skepticism. That's fine. We can be cautiously optimistic about Ghost of Yotei. I think that's fine. Immediately dismissing games the second they're announced or shown, I think that's painting a picture of gamers that's not a very nice picture. And all you have to do is go on Twitter and see that that picture is accurate. People really are acting that way. I'm a gamer that would be considered by major game companies as right-wing, despite considering myself more centrist and leaning left on some things and right on other things. Despite being quite centrist, games companies consider me right-wing, because games companies have veered so far into the left that what may have been considered left of center before is right-wing. That's how much the industry has shifted. And I would say politics in general as well. You just have to look at this country. I have shared a forum with gamers who are right-wing, because that's where I end up getting dropped into, and that's what Twitter's algorithm forces me to see. There's a lot of things that right-wing gamers say on Twitter that I agree with. I believe there should be no censorship in art, which is usually very left-leaning as an opinion. But because the things that are being censored are attractive female characters, apparently that opinion is very right-wing. None of it makes any sense. It's a mad fucking clown world. But seeing the people that Twitter is forcing me to share a forum with coming out and saying, oh my god, female protagonist in a male space, DEI infested slop. Nah, that's just stupid. I don't think we can say with any certainty at this point in time that Ghost of Yotei is DEI infested slop. Maybe more news about the game will come out, and maybe then something will be shown that proves it. But until then, I personally would like to stay cautiously optimistic about it. And the existence of this sequel makes me want to go back and check out the original. I'm curious about it. How good must this game have been to turn an entire subset of gamers into sexist pieces of shit? It's kind of like one of them forbidden things, like a frogurt laced with potassium benzoate. Do I open the game and play the game that will turn me into a massive sexist? Or will I resist its charms and leave its seal? What evil will I unleash by opening this? What will it turn me into? Oh no. Oh no, 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 don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Don't. But no, in all seriousness, what do you think? Do you think Ghost of Yotei is already confirmed to be DEI-infested slop? Do you think because they've hired this particular voice actor / mocap actress, that the game is automatically going to be representative of that particular actress's views and beliefs? Or do you think we are judging too early and we've yet to see anything that would really suggest that the game is going to suffer as a result? Or maybe you think that DEI initiatives in gaming are fine, even those from suspicious companies like Sweet Baby Inc. are good for the gaming industry? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. This has been Opinionated, mate, and that's my opinion. What's yours?